Good morning, everyone, and thank you for being with us today. Welcome to Sofia Talks Media. This year, our annual conference is focused on youth. And actually, it feels a little bit weird for me because usually our seminar takes place in the fall, and now it's in June, so we have the summer weather, which is nice for a change. Thanks again for being with us. Again, each year we choose a topic that is relevant and important, we think, for the media world and what's shaped journalism worldwide. Maybe some of you are surprised that we chose youth and young people for the conference this year, but we truly believe that is something that has been, let's say, ignored or neglected by media, not just in this corner of the world, but worldwide. And let's be honest, in one way or another, we all find ourselves in a situation where we're kind of shaking our heads and saying, oh, the young don't read enough, or the young, they don't follow the news, or the young spend too much time on social media, and kind of, you know, forget what it means to be children and to be young, and maybe being too critical and too gloom about the future of the world or the next generation. But we oftentimes find ourselves entangled in these cliches and the way we talk about children and young people, until actually we start working with some. Over the past several years, we have the privilege to work with a group of very talented young people. With our platform, School Media, which basically gives an opportunity for teenagers from across the country to become reporters themselves and to choose the topics they cover. And we find out that, again, they're very talented and have a very interesting view of the world around them. At the age of 16, we had a student who did an investigation of misuse of state funds. We'll have, again, very talented reporters, some of whom you'll hear in a little bit if you stay with us throughout this conference. And inspired by the drive and reporting that we witnessed over the years, we decided to focus this year on children and young people. And I don't want to keep you for too long. I hope you'll have the chance to find something interesting, whether it's about early childhood development, whether it's like how media is trying to reach audiences, or hear again the point of view of teenagers who are both creating and consuming media content. And without further ado, welcome to the conference. Now I'd like to give the floor to some of our supporters. Actually, it's a little bit hard for me to remember when we actually started this conference, but I know that it wouldn't have been possible without the continuous support of the Friedrich Naumannn Foundation. And indeed, this year we even developed the brand Sofia Talks Media, and I hope you'll hear, you know, and you'll be here each year with us for the conference. We're very grateful for the support of the America-Bulgaria Foundation as well, who are also supporting the School Media platform. This year, we also work with the Dart Center for Trauma and Journalism, a well-known global organization based at the Columbia University, and we hope to further develop that relationship as well. We're very grateful to our communication partners, by UNICEF Bulgaria and National Network of Children as well. And for the first time this year, we also have the support of Google, and a little bit later on, you'll hear more about that too. But first, I want to welcome Martin Котее to take the floor and say a few words.
Dobro utro, приятели. Good to see all of you. Good morning. I'm happy to be here with you. I understand this is a conference on youth and journalism, so of course it's the best idea that you could possibly have to be inviting a boomer with a past to be speaking to you about the subject first. When I say I'm a boomer with a past, that means that I've been a journalist for more than 10 years in my life, and I love the job. And I think it's really gotten bad when it comes to journalism over the past couple of decades, and I think you guys are to blame for that. And I will explore in a very snappy way, generalizing all the while, but being done after 3 minutes, so everything is going to be good. I found this quote from a journalist, a journalist here in Bulgaria, which I find is very interesting. And the thing that's particularly interesting about it is that it's from a journalist himself who found the following out. I'm talking about, by the way, Ognian Georgiev, who was the editor of the Capital newsletter in English. So he says, quote, "I'm a freak. I like history way more than news. I delve into small details instead of great schemes. I believe long-term trends are more reliable guide than the exhausting 24/7 news cycle which leaves you breathless. It turns out the news aversion is global. I work in the news industry, so I shouldn't really be saying this, ha. But I think it's good that people, mostly young, are avoiding news more and more. This constant news cycle, which exhausts every topic and fuels itself on ever more fringe stories, is one of the reasons why many people tend to see others as bad and fear the world. We see matters blown out of proportion just for the sake of some news producer, and we tend to believe this is how things actually are. And I find this is so great and so true. So let me talk to you about, two aspects of you being young in journalism. Aspect number one, you are consumers of news. And as consumers, you are really bad clients. Very bad news. You, Ognian himself has said it, avoid the news ever more. You are not ready to invest in it. You don't care. You are disinterested, and you don't pay for it. And if you don't pay for it, you don't get a product that's going to be worthwhile. So that's number one. It gets even worse when you actually turn into makers of news, because you are the ones that's responsible for this hectic news cycle that Ognian was also talking about, really distorting the reality in which we are living. You always, very professional, two sides of the story. There's one person that's quoted and the other person that hates him. And you can always say it's independent and we left it where it needed to be and stuff. There's no assessment, no judgment, no guidance, no enlightenment, no wisdom, no nothing about what you guys seem to be producing. And this really seriously needs to change. And that's the one thing I was going to share with you, and the rant is over. I have a couple of more nicer messages for you that I want to be leaving you behind with. And that's first, if you love your language and you sort of know its intricacies and can really work with it, and you have it under control, you might want to give journalism a try, seriously. If you want to be a journalist, I recommend you to be a journalist in Bulgaria. The news stream in this country is sort of inexhaustible. You won't be finding anything of the kind elsewhere. Also, for a young person, there is more future to be had in Bulgaria than particularly anywhere in the West, where the future is a thing basically of the past. And the last thing I need to be telling you, if you want to be part of this future in journalism in Bulgaria, what's really good about it, you can help shape this future. So good luck, guys. Have a good time.
Thank you, Martin. Indeed, we start with the boomers, but we actually have a whole parallel workshop with young people taking place while you guys are speaking. And then I'm actually looking forward to hear what they see as the future of media and what they're missing in the coverage of journalists. But thank you. Next, I would like to invite Nansi Schiller, the CEO and director of the America for Bulgaria Foundation.
The road throw? I'm boomer number 2. All right, you can tell by the gray hair. Welcome, Dobre doshli. I'm pleased to be here. I'm with the America for Bulgaria Foundation, and we proudly and loudly support independent media. Many of you in this room are beneficiaries of what we do, and we do it because we believe in Bulgaria's private sector and related democratic institutions. That's our mission. You need media, you need independent journalism to have a democracy. So we are proud to do this. We are criticized. We take it as a compliment. And we'll continue doing it. And we're pleased to partner with Martin and his team on this very important initiative to work with young people so you can shape the future messages. The foundation since 2018 has been supporting school media. We've been supporting the Association of European Journalists for a lot longer than that, and we're very proud to do so. And we came to them with the idea of doing a media literacy program back in 2017. And together with Fulbright and AEJ, they launched school media and a media literacy program. Building on that, we added 2 fellowship programs that we thought were very important. One is the Media Evolution Fellowship. We're starting our 2nd year, and we're so pleased with the product that comes out. Young people apply. We had many applications, and many again this year. And Petya and Victor's son, you can talk with them later. They run the program beautifully. Young people get introduced to professionals in the field. They get experiences they would never had with mentors, real-life experience, and many of them get offered jobs when the program is over. And one of those is Katerina, who you'll hear from later today, who's a graduate of not only the AEJ summer camp, not only the school media program, but also our media evolution program, and onwards to Radio Free Europe. Congratulations. We also have a digital marketing fellowship because we also want to be able to talk about and show people what the NGOs and civil society is doing in Bulgaria, and to get the message out through using social media. And they also need to know how to do this for media. So we continue our work. We're proud to do that, and we look forward to working with you to improve independent journalism in Bulgaria. And thank you for what you do, AEJ. We're proud to be partners. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Nancy. We are also very proud of some of the graduates of our trainings or fellowships. And yeah, if you stay with us, you'll hear more about their career development. But most of all, we're very proud that they are staying in journalism, which this country really needs. And next, I want to welcome Elina Найденова, who is the head of Google News Partnerships for Southeast Europe. Hello, Elina.
Oh, it's a full room. Good morning, everyone. I think this is the first time for us to be on stage and to actually be a partner of the Association of European Journalists. Thank you for organizing such a great event on such an important topic. As mentioned, I'm Elina Найденова. I'm part of Google News Partnerships team for Central and Eastern Europe, specifically looking after Bulgaria. Today's event is of particular importance because it encourages a discussion of a very important topic of how to engage younger audiences, specifically in the very worrying trend and upward trend in news avoidance, as all of us have been discussing earlier today and later today. One of the main reasons why we are sponsoring this event is to create an opportunity for a dialogue together with journalists, with media outlets, with policymakers, as well as to play our role responsibly as a technology partner, especially in trying to adapt and make sure that there is a thriving news ecosystem that is actually serving the young generation needs when it comes to information and knowledge. I'm going to use also the opportunity to share something very exciting, that we will be forging a new partnership with the Association of European Journalists. This is the first time for us at Google to support the association. Specifically, we'll be focusing on the support of the expansion of Fact Check BG and School Media Project. Both of these projects lie very close to our mission in Google News Initiative, specifically because we really believe quality journalism and fighting misinformation are fundamentally important for a healthy democratic society. And fighting misinformation is only part of the journey, but ensuring that the young generations have a strong foundation in media literacy will make sure that this future, this society has a bright future, and also we'll be able to make sure that the news ecosystem continues to support them and continues to serve their needs also for the future. Again, thank you everyone for being here today, for participating actively in this cause and being here to support also the great work of the Association of European Journalists. Thank you.
Thank you, Elina, and we're looking forward to working with you on the other initiatives as well. And last but not least, I want to welcome Irina Nedeva, who is the chair of the Association of European Journalists, to welcome you as well.
Thank you, Boryaana. Thank you all and welcome, dear guests, partners, friends, fellow journalists, students. Maybe I'm a boomer number 3, but maybe just a step further, like boomer 3.1 or something like this, or at least babies of 1968, which means that my generation still believes in impossible things that might happen. Babies of Prague Spring, Paris revolts, and you know what has been going in United States at that very moment. But let me read, because I have my speech written. We want, of course, to thank our partners. We truly appreciate the partnership we have with America for Bulgaria Foundation, with Fridrach Naumannn Foundation for Freedom, and we're looking forward to partnership with Google initiative as well. I want also to emphasize the partnership with National Network for Children. I think it is very essential umbrella organization for Bulgarian democracy in general, and I'm pleased that they are partnering in our conference as well. There is nothing better than looking to the future. It's here, and more than ever, the future is here because of the very fast development of technology. I clearly remember my own amazement at how my then teenage daughter, without watching TV or listening to the radio, by the way, I'm a radio journalist, and why she should listen to the radio or watch television if her mother works here. Of course, it is beyond any question, no going to the TV news or radio news for a young teenager. But I was amazed and I was surprised with unexpected insights she has had into complex political issues, such as the conflict in the Middle East, for instance. I remember asking her, how do you know? How do you understand what's going on there? Didn't watch TV? And she answered me, I'm not going to explain it to you, Mommy. Explanations are in the research analysis, in Reuters Oxford Digital News reports, in numerous analytical researches on the changing media landscape. In all what we know, and we are continuously investigating the changing of information consumption in the digital world. Next generation is a topic we can't help but be excited about. Not only because as journalists and media we want to know how to reach young audiences in order to sell our products, the news we produce, not just because of what we have to say to them because we want to influence the future, but also because of what we can learn or recall from them, because young people and actually youth is much more closer to childhood, to that generator of eternal questions, of childish questions, which every journalist must know how to awaken in our otherwise fortified sense of self-important elements of our societies. There is much to learn from the young, and this is actually the hope. I remember that our two previous conferences, again together with Friedrich Naumann's Foundation for Freedom, were under the banner, under the title of New Horizons. The step towards youth, turning our gaze to the future, is a natural one. I wonder what comes next. If we go now to the youth, what comes next? Next, babyhood, understanding of information in really early ages of human existence. Something we need so much today when we see how the cynicism of people or leaders who overeat with power turns the world into wars. Because in the childhood, actually, the questions and the true naivete is what we lack in our societies nowadays. I'm sure that if you are with us today, you will understand why our speakers are so important and so inspiring journalists, media entrepreneurs, and analysts. You will feel this inspiration, I'm sure, and I wish the conference every success.